What's up, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. I have my June Boxycharm and it's time to open it up, see what products are in here and see what the full retail value is of this box, and then we'll create a look using all of the products. Before we begin, I just want to let you know this video is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. I do pay for the subscription box myself, but I will leave all of the details on Ipsy, the different plans that they have, prices, all of that down in the description box, along with a referral link. You don't have to sign up for it. You don't even have to use my link if you don't want to, but if you choose to use it and sign up, I do thank you so much for helping support me and my channel. As always, it means so much to me. And I will also link all of the products in this box down there as well as everything else that I use in this video to create this look. But let's go ahead and dive into this and see what kind of goodies we got in this June Boxycharm. So in every single box, you do get one of these little newspaper pamphlet things in here. It just kind of gives you a little bit more details on some of the products that you can get in here. You can get sneak peeks for the next month's products. You can get, you know, updates on like their upcoming podcasts, drops, things like that. And then there's always a QR code on here as well that you can scan, and it'll take you to their page and you get tips and tricks and things like that on their products and how to use them. But it's in there if you need it. I don't ever use it, but it's a good little thing if, you know, maybe you're getting into makeup, you don't know how to use some of the products you got. But let's go ahead and jump into the goodies that we did get in this box. So up first, I am so excited about this. This is the Glow Recipe Avocado Ceramide Moisture Barrier Cleanser. This is absolutely fantastic. This is like a 2-in-1 step. You can use this to remove your makeup and cleanse your face. I always do a double cleanse anyway, but this one is really good about getting leftover makeup that's still on your face. It really breaks everything down, leaves your skin feeling nice and clean, but it doesn't disturb that moisture barrier, so it doesn't leave your face feeling like dry and tight after you cleanse. I don't know if that's a thing with like oily skin, but I know for people who have like normal to dry skin, it's a really big thing whenever you cleanse your face and it just feels like really tight and dry. This doesn't do this. I love this cleanser. I have another one I'm using right now from a different brand, but I am super excited to use this, and this is a full size tube. So that is a good one. I'm really excited about that. The next product that we have in our box is this cute little eyeshadow quad from Il Makiage. This is the Color Boss Squad Multi-Dimensional Eye Color Quad. This is in the Real Deal. So let's open this up. This feels very heavy, very luxe. So this is the packaging. This is good, like I said, heavy luxe packaging. It is gonna get fingerprints all over it. It already does. And that is our beautiful color story. I really like that. Very simple, very easy, very subdued. You can definitely get like some like one and done looks out of it, a couple of colors. It looks like we have 2 satins and 2 shimmers in here, so I'm excited. I've never tried Il Makiage eyeshadows before, so I'm excited to try that one out. Up next, we have the Lunar Beauty Lip Pencil. This is 2 different shades. I love Lunar Beauty lip pencils. I do have 2 in my collection. I have like a brown shade and then I have a red one. So, ooh, I'm excited to have more. So we have 2 different shades. We have Doodle and we have Blushing. So let's go ahead and do a swatch on the back of my hand. That is the shade Blushing. That is a beautiful like pinky peach. Oh, I love that color. These lip liners are so good, and these are sharpenable. Like you can put them in your little sharpener and they do sharpen. And then next we have the shade Doodle. This one is definitely more on like that rose mauvey side. I can't speak. Very pretty. I love that we got 2 very wearable shades. I'm excited to have these in my collection. I love this formula. Okay, the next product that we have is the Just Zemenya, I think is how you say that. It is the 3-in-1 stick. This is the shade I'm Delicious. So let's open this up. I think I actually picked this, but that is what the packaging looks like. So it says JK, that's kind of cute. And we have, okay, it's like a blush stick. So you can probably use it on your lips, on your eyes. Let's give it a little swatcheroo right there. That's a really pretty shade. That is definitely something that I go for more in like the fall, winter. I tend to go for darker blushes with the seasons. Like that definitely does change. I like lighter and brighter in the spring and the summer, and then darker in the fall and the winter, but we are gonna try that out. It does feel very creamy. It doesn't have a scent to it or anything like that, and it feels like it's going to dry down pretty quick, but it is really It's dispersing nicely. It's blending out beautifully. Okay, cool. We have one more product to go over, and this is the K. Voss Fairy Dust Pressed Highlighter. I love a highlighter. I'm always excited about a highlighter, but let's open this up. This is the shade Moonlit and Star Kissed. If I can get this little packaging open. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. Took me a second. So this is what the packaging looks like, plastic packaging. It doesn't feel super cheap, but it doesn't feel heavy and luxe either like the Il Makiage did. And, oh, has a little plastic thing that fell out. And those are the two shades that we have right there. So let's do a quick swatch and see what these are gonna look like. So this first one is like a really pretty pink shade. These do feel soft. They don't feel super creamy or anything like that, but they don't feel like really hard either. Is that even picking up on camera? There it goes. You can kind of see it right there. But we will try both of these on the cheeks. And the other one is like this more like bronzy shade. Let's do this one right here. Okay, that one you can see. So we do get two very different colors. I don't think this one's gonna work out well for my skin tone, but we're gonna try it. If I can survive the dark black highlighter in the Wicked Widow collection, I can survive anything. Okay, so those are the products that we have. Let me go ahead and add up the value of these, and I will tell you what the full value is of this box. Okay, so I went ahead and added the prices of all these products sitting here in front of me, and it came to a grand total of $134. This is a $30 a month subscription, so we basically got $104 worth of product for free, and I'm pretty excited about these. I am very pumped about what I got. I can't wait to try some of these. I did not realize that Il Makiage eyeshadow quads were $48. I was kind of floored when I saw that price tag, so it really made me curious to see what the formula is like, because that's a hefty price tag to put on a quad. But I'm gonna go ahead and grab some other products from my collection to complete the gaps in this look, and then we're gonna go ahead and create. Okay, so I zoomed out in a little bit, my hair is out of my face. We're gonna go ahead and start creating this look. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some primer on. This is the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer. I have really been enjoying this. This is hydrating, it's perfecting, and it just leaves like a good smooth canvas on the face. I don't know what this is right there. It's like a little red bump on my skin. I don't know if you can see it. And I'm hoping it's not from that e.l.f. foundation, because I did the wear test that went up, what was that, a couple of days ago. I actually filmed that yesterday, so I'm hoping that's not what it's from, because it wasn't there whenever I put the foundation on. It could just be a fluke. I do kind of get those every now and then. Sometimes my skin can kind of go a little wonky if I do a lot of makeup and things like that, but I don't know what it is. We'll keep an eye on it. And with that being said, we're gonna go in with the new e.l.f. Soft Glam Foundation. I absolutely love this. It is such a beautiful foundation. I have really been enjoying it. The shade match isn't perfect, but I'm thinking I might actually go in and buy another shade. And if that one's too light, maybe I can mix the two together. But I cannot believe, I'm still floored with how beautiful an $8 drugstore foundation is. Like, e.l.f. is forgiven for all of its crimes that it did me dirty with the last time I tried a complexion product from them. Like, they are 100% forgiven. All right, let's do a little bit of concealer before we jump into this cream blush. I'm just going in with my Hourglass concealer right here. I love this. It is such a gorgeous concealer. I did recently pick up a new one with my most recent Hourglass order, and I am so happy to have this back in my collection. Okay, so that brings us to our first product from the box. This is the JK 3-in-1 stick in the shade I'm Delicious. So I think what I want to do is I want to try just picking this up with a brush. This is a BK Beauty 109, and going in that way on one side, and then on the other side I'm going to put it on the back of my hand and try going in that way. I do like to stipple it whenever I just pick it up with the brush. That way it's evenly distributed, and this did seem like it was pretty pigmented, and it's gonna dry down pretty fast, but I don't know if I just didn't pick up enough or if it's not as pigmented as it seems. Let's grab some more. Okay, there we go. It does build up. So you can sheer it out, build it up. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. That is really pretty actually. Let me grab a mirror and do like a close-up look because I want to see if it's lifting the product underneath. And it's not. Okay. It doesn't feel super emollient. It's a little more stiff than what I typically prefer in a cream blush. But if you have oily skin, that might be right up your alley because I know emollient blushes kind of slip and slide on oilier skin. So yeah, I'm not mad about it. Again, like I said, it's not a favorite formula, but it does melt down nicely. It does warm up on the skin really pretty, and it is buildable. So I like that it's not super pigmented right out the gate because that can be a little scary. That looks beautiful. I do really like the shade of it. I think it's definitely something that I'm going to gravitate towards more in the fall, but I'm not mad about it. It didn't lift anything. It didn't move the product underneath. It did go down really nicely, and it's not fully dried down to like a powder finish, but it's not really tacky and sticky either. Like, I don't think my hair would stick to it or anything like that, but you know, if you're oily, you still might want to set it down. But let's go ahead and throw on some bronzer. I've really been enjoying doing bronzer after I do my blush. I feel like it kind of blends in just a little bit better. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Finish Contour one. This isn't a favorite formula of mine. I do think it's a little overpriced for what it is, but I did pay for it and I want to get some use out of it so it doesn't expire and go off on me. Okay, so I did go ahead and just set the rest of my face as well with my powder, and you can still see that blush peeking through, so I probably could have built it up a little bit more, but it didn't completely go away. I do, however, want to try it over a powdered face now, so I'm going to go ahead and go back and just kind of dig in here a little bit, pick it up with my brush, and I want to tap it over and see if this is going to play nice with powder, because I feel like a lot of cream blushes, I need to reiterate them after I powder, and for me to truly love a cream blush, it needs to play well both over and under powder products, and I want to see if this is going to do that. All right, so I definitely got some more pigmentation out of it. Honestly, I feel like it kind of went on a little bit better over the powder, almost like it grabbed better. The color really stuck down and it didn't lift anything, it didn't patch, it didn't skip. Okay, I am impressed. I am really impressed. Sometimes you find little hidden gems in these Boxycharms, things that you wouldn't like normally pick up or buy. Like, I probably would never buy this on my own just because I've never heard of the brand, and I don't know, we tend to kind of go towards stuff that we know, we recognize, so that's pretty cool. Okay, let's go ahead and throw on some highlighter. So we have two different options in this little compact. If I can open it, this is not easy to open. I'm afraid I'm going to break a nail. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna go ahead and do this pink one on this side of my face, and we're gonna do this one on this side of my face. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the pink shade with a Rare Beauty highlighting brush. And I'm just gonna kind of dig in there pretty good. I'm not getting a lot of kick up in the pan. I'm gonna go in over here. Oh, wow. That is really impressive. That's beautiful. Oh yeah, I have the mirror covered up. Hello. Okay, I can't get that off. Let's see. Okay. That looks really pretty. It is just a tad bit, it's not chunky, it's not glittery, but it is kind of grabbing. And my face doesn't feel like it's sticky, so I don't know if this is going to be a favorite. But, you know, we're going to give it a chance, check it out, keep testing it, all of that. But let's go ahead and go into this one over here, this more bronzy shade. So I'm just going to flip over my brush, pick it up, and we're going to put this on, see what this looks like on my fair skin. Okay. Again, very blinding, very pretty. It's still kind of grabbing a little bit. It's not smoothing out as much as I want it to. Can you see that? I don't know if you can. And it's emphasizing texture. So probably not the smoothest, like, best formula I've ever used. I shouldn't say probably. Like, I know it's not. But I'm not mad about it either. I don't know. I'm going to have to keep testing it out. This shade does definitely work for my skin if I go in with a light hand. But I don't like that when I turn my face, I can see that stripe. It's not like melting in and blending into the skin, and that's kind of what I'm a little weary about, but I'll keep testing it, testing over different products. Maybe there is a little bit of stickiness to that blush, and that's what it's grabbing onto. So I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. I will keep testing this as well as all these products, but let's go ahead and move on to the eyes. So I wanna play with this eyeshadow quad, but before we do that, let's swatch it out because I did not swatch it when we opened up this box, and I thought we could kind of do it together. So let's do that. I'm gonna start with this shade up here. There are names on the back, and this one is called Lush Life. So let's go ahead and swatch that right here. That does feel very like silky, very smooth, very creamy. It picked up really nicely. Let's see if we can build up that swatch just a little bit. That's actually a really pretty shade. I like the tone of that. Okay, so this next one is gonna be this other satin down here. This one is called Own It. So let me wipe off my finger, and we're gonna pick up this shade. Very pigmented. And we're gonna put that right here. So these are definitely like a satin, but they're not like a super shimmery satin. So definitely can be, you know, used like you would use a matte. Next, let's go ahead and go in with this shade right here. This one is called Keep Rolling. Okay, feels very creamy. This is the first shimmer that we're going to swatch. Very pretty. It's not like flippy or anything like that. It's just a really pretty metallic shade, but it did go down really nicely. It does have a good reflect to it. I do like it. And then last we have this shade down here. This one is called No Bullshit. I love that name. I really do. I love it whenever makeup names have like cussing in them. I think it's fun. Ooh, that is a stunning like cranberry shade. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I'm excited about this look. I'm excited about the formula. I'm excited all these colors swatched out together. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyes. I have a new eyeshadow primer that I've been testing. It's this one from Beauty Bay, but I think since I've never used this formula before, I've been testing this with formulas I know. Since I've never used this formula before, I'm gonna go in with my MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. So let me go ahead and pop this on real quick, and then we will jump into this eye look. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with this shade up here, which is called Lush Life. I'm just gonna pick that up with a Singe Beauty EO3, and I'm gonna use this as my main transition shade. So I'm just gonna kind of fluff this into my crease, building up some depth, a little something to kind of start off this eye look. And I'm gonna keep this very simple. I am gonna use all 4 shades, but I'm not gonna bring in anything else. I'm not gonna make it super complicated. I really just wanna see how this formula performs, what the pigmentation is like, and all of that. And so far, this is not super pigmented, but it's buildable. But this also isn't like a super dark shade either. I don't expect crazy pigmentation from it. All right, that's a really pretty shade. It's definitely on the lighter side, but it's one of those that you can just kind of throw it in the crease, pick up a shimmer, do a one and done, and call it a day. But we're gonna go ahead and deepen it up with this shade down here, which is called Own It. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up with a Singe Beauty EO5 brush, and I'm gonna build up my depth in my outer corner and kind of bring this up into the crease a little bit, just giving like a smoky outer corner. I'm gonna take that same shade onto my lower lash line. I'm gonna bring it about halfway across, and then just kind of lightly disperse it so it kind of fades into itself, and then I'll go back with that first shade and kind of blend it out. Okay, so I went ahead and threw my NYX glitter primer onto my lids. Let's go ahead and play with some shimmer. So I'm gonna put this one all over the lid, and then I'm gonna reserve this one for the inner corner. So let's go ahead and start with the shade No Bullshit and see what this looks like on the lid. Okay, so for my inner corner, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this shade up here, which is called Keep Rolling. This is a Singe Beauty EO1 brush. So I'm gonna pick that up, I'm gonna spray it with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus, get its most potential, and pop this into my inner corner. Okay, that's pretty. So that is going to go ahead and complete this eye look. I did go ahead and throw on some liner, mascara, and brows. For liner, I did go in with my Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal liner in the shade Cinnamon. Are we surprised? Absolutely not. As far as mascara goes, I went in with my YSL Lash Clash in the brown shade, and then for my brows, I threw in a little bit of my Urban Decay Big Bush Brow in the shade Brunette Betty, just to kind of fill in any little sparseness and anywhere that powder kind of clung and took away pigmentation. But this is what the eyeshadow look is looking like. I will say this is not my favorite. I do like the mattes. I feel like they built up nicely. They went on very creamy. I didn't have any fallout. Definitely kind of gave me a luxury feel as far as formula goes, but the shimmers is where I kind of have an issue with. I did say when I swatched them out, they weren't super creamy. Like, they felt nice, but they weren't super creamy. But when I put them on, it felt like they went on a little dry, definitely emphasizing some texture. Like, whenever I turn, I feel like you can really see like all the crinkles and wrinkles in my eye. So I don't know if this is going to be a favorite. It might be the eye primer underneath. I don't know. I will definitely play around. Maybe it needs a little bit more moisture, but first impression, not my favorite. But let's go ahead and move on because I have two lip liners from Lunar Beauty right here to play with. Now, since I've already played with this formula, I know it, I love it. It's one of my favorites. I'm excited to have two everyday wearable shades in my collection. I'm just gonna go ahead and play with the one. So this is the shade Doodle. I wanna go ahead and put this on and then just throw a lip gloss on over top. Okay, so that is what the shade Doodle looks like on my lips with a gloss thrown on over top. I just went in with the Natasha Denona Golden Glimmer Gloss that she just came out with in her Golden collection, and I do really like this shade. I think it's beautiful. I'm happy to have it. It doesn't really go with the rest of the look. Like, we're definitely getting like fall vibes up here, and then this kind of is giving like spring, summer. It's a little pinkier than everything else, but you know, it is what it is. But I'm gonna go ahead and set this makeup, and then we're gonna chat about this month's Boxycharm. So that is going to complete this look using all of these products in this month's Boxycharm. Let me go ahead and give you my first initial impression thoughts, and then we will close out this video. So starting with the Glow Recipe Avocado Ceramide Moisture Barrier Cleanser. I love this. I already told you all I do. I'm so happy to have one on standby for when I'm done with the cleanser that I'm using right now. This is a beautiful product. It is lightly scented, but it's not anything overpowering, anything that's gonna like make you nauseous or anything like that. It does take a very little bit. So this tube will last you the longest time. I think the last time I used this, I can almost get to a year, maybe like around that 10-month mark because it takes so little of it. But if you're looking for something that is going to get all that dirt, grime, and makeup off of your skin without stripping the moisture barrier and leaving you dry and tight, this is a beautiful one. I highly recommend it. I love the Glow Recipe line, and this is a really good cleanser. Moving on to the lip liners from Lunar Beauty. I already love this formula. I'm happy to have two shades in my collection that I don't have, something that's going to be a little bit more wearable for every single day. Like I said, I have a red one and I have a cocoa one in my collection. Like, here's the red one, and then the cocoa one is right here. So these are two shades that I don't wear on an everyday. So I'm really excited to have these. Why am I flinging this around? I'm really excited to have these two right here that I'll get more use out of. But these are fantastic. I'm so happy to have these. If you're looking for a good lip liner that's not going to break the bank and is creamy without being overly creamy, will last a really long time and hold everything in place, Lunar Beauty has some really good ones. Okay, let's talk about the products that I have never used before. So up first, we're going to kind of go in order of application. It is the JX 3-in-1 Blush Stick. This is not bad. Like I said, whenever I was putting it on, it is not the creamiest thing in the world. I like something that has a little bit more emolliency to it, but this did go on very nicely. You saw it went on well under and over powder. So in my mind, it's a winner. I like the color. I think it's beautiful. I haven't used it on my lips yet. I will definitely do that in the future. I kind of forgot whenever I was doing this, but there wasn't a lip liner that would have gone with it anyway. But I think if you have oily skin, you might really enjoy this. So if you got this in your box and you have oily skin and maybe you're a little intimidated by the color or you're not really sure about the formula, check it out, because you saw it's not super pigmented, it's blendable, it's buildable, and I'm really impressed with it. I'm happy to have it in my collection and keep trying it. The highlighters from K Voss. I'm not sure about this. I still feel like these don't really melt in with the skin. They kind of have like that 2016 stripe on the cheek, and while I love a blinding highlight, I want it to melt into the skin and be like bam when I turn my face without having a stripe and without being like chunky and emphasizing texture. So I don't know if this is going to be a winner for me. I will keep trying it because like I said, maybe there was a little bit of tack from that cream blush, but first impression, not my favorite. It is beautiful, but I think there's better formulas out there at the same price point, if not cheaper. And last we have the Il Maquillage Quad. I'm gonna try and not in blind, y'all. So like I was saying, this reminds me of a luxury formula. It has like that very soft pigmentation. It is very silky, very buildable. I do get a little bit more pigmentation out of this. So as far as the mattes go, it reminds me more of like the Guerlain or the YSL. For me, from my experience with Tom Ford, they are just not quite this pigmented. But sorry, I lost my train of thought. I got ahead of myself. So I'm not mad about like the two satins in here because they did perform like a matte, but they are a satin. I kept calling them a matte. I know that they're a satin. So those are nice. I did like those. My issue comes down to these shimmers because if you look at my lid, it definitely looks a little bit textured. It doesn't look as smooth as I like it to. And when I was putting them on, they felt very dry. They didn't go on as creamy as I wanted them to. I have other shimmers in my collection, even from mainstream brands, even from luxury brands that just go on so much better than these. So I don't know if maybe this is like an older quad and that's why it was thrown in here. If maybe this just is an off formula, if I got a bad batch, I don't know what it is. But based off of this palette, I am not very impressed with these two shimmers in here. I like the satins. I'm not impressed with the shimmers, but I do want to give them a shot with maybe something a little bit more moisturizing underneath. I've never had an issue with quality and performance whenever I use either of those eyeshadow bases that I use, which is why I use those to test out this formula. But you know, I'm not completely discounting it. I just don't think I'm gonna be running over to the Il Maquillage website and ordering any more of their eyeshadows anytime soon. But that's gonna complete this video, y'all. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you're subscribed to Boxycharm, if you get a Glambag, if you get a Boxycharm, what you got, if anything, if you completely disregard these in, you know, every shape and form. I wanna hear all of your thoughts down below. Let's have that conversation, light up that comment section. And as usual, I wanna thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It truly does mean so much to me. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. I do post quite a few videos every single week and I wouldn't want you to miss one. But until my next video, have a good one. Bye.